running in shadow, be tough as the cries in Apollo. Cause life is a bitch with an ammo, she sucking and swallow. Keep everyone shot like staccato, flexing like a mover inside of my friends with my sorrow. Stuck in a pad and it's down, fucking the world that is shallow, we still never follow. Straight to the point like an arrow, smoking the joint in soprano. Nightmare trees, the painting dreams, depressing trees that grow like weeds. My blood and leaves, the wasted jeans. Overweight shirt up and wasted jeans. Play my scene with a wasted scene. Living unnatural, I take this lead. Demons in bed, to the bullet might help. Couple shots to the head, ain't sleep real deep. I need peace, sleep, energy. Trying to dream again. All I see is drowning me. Try to breathe again. What's the cost? Lost family. Nothing I can gain. I'll feel again. Just turned 23, still ain't free from pain. I need peace, sleep, energy. Trying to dream again. All I see is drowning me. Try to breathe again. What's the cost? Lost family. Nothing I can gain. I'll feel again. Just turned 23, still ain't free from pain. Don't need 20 more reasons, so been bleeding. Gun to my head should be easy. Way too close to my demons. Mind full of leaving. Pray I wake up dreaming. Light in my eyes, shut demon. Days seem dark, no meaning. Running away kills, no bills, still cover my bills. Just pills might kill me. Piano was playing. So many kids feeling hollow and sorrow. I might go insane. Mind full of change. So many ways on my spirit. I'm promised I'm done with the pain. Physical pain. Feels like I'm tired of living the stress. I just can't explain. Done with the rain. Feels like I'm falling too deep and I'm drowning. A clog in the drain. I need peace, sleep, energy. Trying to dream again. All I see is drowning. running in shadow. Be tough as the cries in Apollo. Cause life is a bitch with an ammo. She sucking and swallow. Keep everyone shot like staccato. Flexing like a mover inside of my friends with my sorrow. Stuck in a pad and it's down. Fucking the world that is shallow. We still never follow. Straight to the point like an arrow. Smoking the joint in soprano. Nightmare trees. The painting dreams. depression trees that grow like weeds. My blood and leaves, the wasted jeans. Overweight shirt up and wasting jeans. Plain my scene with a wasted scene. Living unnatural, I take this lead. Demons in bed, said the bullet might help. Couple shots to the head, ain't sleep for deep. I need peace, sleep, energy. Trying to dream again. All I see is drowning me. Try to breathe again. What's the cost? Lost family. Nothing that could gain. I'll feel again. Just turned 23, still ain't free from pain. I need peace, sleep, energy. Trying to dream again. All I see is drowning me. Try to breathe again. What's the cost? Lost family. Nothing that could gain. I'll feel again. Just turned 23, still ain't free from pain. Don't need 20 more reasons, so been bleeding. Gun to my head should be easy. Way too close to my demons. Mind full of leaving. Pray I wake up dreaming. Light in my eyes, shut demon. Days seem dark, no meaning. Running away kills, no bills, still cover my bills, still spills my kill me. Rihanna was playing. So many kids feeling hollow and sorrow. I might go insane. Mind full of change. So many ways on my spirit. I'm promised I'm done with the pain. Physical pain. Feels like I'm tired of living the stress. I just can't be explained. Done with the rain. Feels like I'm falling too deep and I'm drowning. I'm plugging the drain. I need peace, sleep, energy. Trying to dream again. All I see is drowning me.
Good evening all, welcome back to the RAF Storm Shadows channel. I've got a slightly different angle going tonight, by the way. I have actually moved my camera, but it's nice to see you again, wherever you are, enjoying this this stream for, and hope you all have had a good day, hope you're having a good evening, have you had a good meal as well, because we all know how much a good meal can affect your mood. So yeah, tonight it is the RAF Hurricanes against the British Army Esports Kestrels, a important game in the grand scheme of things as the inter-service spring qualifiers loom at the end of April. Joining me tonight in the commentary box, a long time coming actually, Roman returns to the commentary box with me. Roman, good evening to you. How are you doing firstly? I'm just actually going to. I think apparently you're muted, which is not an issue on your end. I can assure you. It wouldn't be a stream without the standard series of issues. You know what? Bear with me, guys. I'm going to fix this as best as I can. Should be all right. So speak for me.
As I was saying,
Boom.
hopefully I'm back on air. The Hurricanes playing the exact same side as they did against the Shadows last week, and the Kestrels go with a slightly different side this time. You've got Frazix, Fezzy, and I think that's JDS on their side as well. So something interesting to behold as well.
On the side of the Kestrels, I can see in the lobby Fezzy, who I don't know if he's playing. I think he plays for the Merlins, and obviously he's also the manager of Army Esports. He might be playing tonight, I'm not sure. Rush and Fraz and Pop lining up for the Kestrels. That's a strong lineup. That's the second best the Army has to offer against, well, the new third best the RAF has to offer him. And I want you to briefly comment on that one for me real quick.
Excuse me? Are you trying to sort out my audio by palming me off here? Is this what you're doing?
No.
You're gently palming me off. I have no idea who this Pop is, by the way. I can't make any comments on this Kestrel side. I know it's quite a variety in rank. I know that's an absolute fact. So we could see quite consistent plays by the Hurricanes, and then all of a sudden you'll have these one-off plays by the Kestrels again. Not a side to be really reckoned with here tonight. So a best of 7 in typical Showmatch fashion will get us underway, and Fezzy has advantage off the kickoff here.
Interesting stuff, actually. It's Cuddles, JDS, and Asher that start off the proceedings for the RAF Hurricanes. That's the captain, Sully, choosing to bench himself and just getting a chance to see a trio of the RAF Hurricanes that we are yet to experience. I think that's a fine idea. And then you can see JDS going also by the name of Jake, by the way, off to a cracking start with an excellent save and a nice clear downfield looking for, I think it was Cuddles. That's a nice passing field towards Asher, and it almost lands in the back of the net. A great start for the RAF Hurricanes.
Yeah, game one's always a solid one to sit your captain out, in my opinion. You've got a chance to take a look at who are the stronger points of tonight on your side, so you can select a favour, and there's obviously no arguments at the end of it, at the end of the evening, when it comes to the 4 players in. But Asher does a cheeky strike there, and Fezzy managed to get to that one. So, yeah, good shot by JDS, but a good idea by Sully as well to figure out who he wants to play in the next game.
JDS with a nice first touch off that backboard, spun around, recovered the car excellently, which is something that Staley touched on in the coaching session that was happening in the RAF server as soon as yesterday. Recovered the car really quickly, got the shot off at the near post, and a fine finish from JDS gives this Hurricanes I wouldn't even say it's a shock lead, because they have been all over the Kestrels thus far, who I don't know if they weren't expecting this level of a start from the Hurricanes, but it's happened. And the Hurricanes full value for the lead. That's a nice bump by JDS. Asher will clear, and the Hurricanes lead survives.
Well, you argue for some people in the minds of the Hurricanes, the first time against the Shadows, will. Yeah, the first time they've been the underdogs in a type of match like this. So, again, fantastic shot there by Rush. Does come off the post. But you're gonna have to take a look at how this Hurricane side play. They're quite aggressive, especially with Sully on the pitch. I know that's a fact. They're very hard hitting, and you've got to pay attention to your back line as well, because they might take inspiration from the Tempest in that aspect. But, well, point in case there as Asher comes flying across, a former Tempest man as well. Fraz sending that downfield, and you just got to hope they recover here, the Hurricanes. They do send it downfield. I'm trying to keep it neutral tonight. I don't want this whole Army RAF bias going on. It is a show match. It is a showcase of what both sides have to offer. Still, you may be in the different realm here tonight.
Nah, my heart is always RAF, but I never fail to give credit to our beloved friends in the Army and Navy whenever they're on our channel. Firstly, it's always a pleasure. You know, we've grown as a trio of communities across the last 3-4 years of me being in the scene anyway, from what I've been seeing, and it's just nice to be involved in a community that challenges each other, and it's, again, friendly competition. That's going to be a clear shot on goal for Frazix, and he makes no mistake about that one. From about 3 or 4 yards out, pushes it into the roof of the net. JDS unfortunately left on the very limited amounts of boost. I think that was Fezzy making sure that JDS couldn't even get in the air with a nicely timed bump attempt. Frazix into the roof of the net, and it's 1-1. And that's better from the Kestrels. They've seemingly woken up now from that slow start and might look to push on for a second here.
Yeah, JDS with an awkward touch on the ball, not getting the clear that he wanted on the back line there, which caused Cuddles and Asher a bit of discomfort on the back line. And here we go again. The counter-attack is on by the Kestrels here, and Rush with a shot on target. Net is wide over the far right side. A ghost touch comes from Asher, so we'll not get credited for the save. It's going to be a little bit annoying. However, Fraz up here, 4 boost to work with a 50 as well. Cuddles with a missed touch, and Asher on the back line doing well to get that save. Rush with a good touch. Cuddles sends it downfield, and a minute 40 left to go here. It switched sides. Cuddles with a pass it infield. Asher getting a touch into the mid, but JDS playing that patient third man. Got to respect the third man position, as we were told quite aggressively by Stanley last night.
Jonesy says, are you able to send me a link back into the server, get back into Rocket League? Yeah, I can absolutely send you a link back, Jonesy. Nice to see you again, mate. Hope you're doing well. I will send you the link after this game ends, or if somebody in the chat who might have access to the link can send it, that'll be great, but don't worry if you can't. That will be an open net for Rush to contend with, and it's a fantastic, composed, calm finish into that bottom right-hand side corner after the initial shot from Fezzi was saved by Cuddles. Rush had it all to do, really, even with the limited boost on the car of JDS, could only really find that bottom right corner for it to find its way into the back of the net. It did happen in the end. A great finish, and the Kestrels lead for the first time in the series.
Yeah, it's absolutely a solid big finish. This kickoff, though, could swing the tables back the other way again. Asher with a strike on net, rushing to save, and unfortunately for Cuddles again on the back line there, just popping out mid, not really getting a solid clear. It fell straight to the attacker and well into the back of the net. So JDS trying to get his team back on the front foot, and Cuddles with a strike towards net. Fezzi waiting patiently on the back line, will carry this downfield. Asher as well, lingering in the air, probably wanted a better touch than that, to be honest, but Fraz gets a 50 there. Rush pops it back mid. There is a free ball for Fraz if he can get to it, not quite, and JDS sending this one around. Maintain possession, does get bumped, but it allows the pass to Asher. Asher with a tap on the backboard. Fezzi's going to miss. Shots free, and JDS not getting enough power. It is sent clear, and that was the opportunity that the Hurricanes needed, really, to pull this game back in front. They have 15 seconds to pull something out here.
They're pressing for this equalizer into the final 10 seconds. Fazix rises high, gets there. Fezzi can't land the flick. Asher will turn here. One final throw of the dice for the Hurricanes. They've been pushing for this one. Up goes Asher again, onto the backboard, and it does land in the ground. It's the Kestrels with a 1-0 lead in the series. And I'll tell you what, Roman, that is a fast start and a very entertaining game one. And how do you see this series progressing? Because for me, the Hurricanes started really, really strongly, caught the Kestrels off guard a couple of times, got their deserved lead, but the Kestrels fought back. And you can definitely say the second half of that game number one was all theirs. And, well, are they arguably deserved winners of that game one?
I'd say so. Like, yeah, the Hurricanes had the dominant possession in the first minute and a half. In fact, they were all over them on the offensive side. Like you said, catching Kestrels off guard, and well, the Kestrels, they managed to rotate around that and figure out the play style of the Hurricanes. So maybe this is why Sully now is here doing this, just changing up the strategy each game, trying to catch Kestrels off guard early and holding off for a win by, well, getting a decent advantage, really. Unfortunately, the Kestrels did break through. Really solid stuff from them offensively, and it was a couple of defensive mistakes, if you remember, with the obviously JDS and Cuddles not getting the best clears. So again, the defense isn't that bad. It's just trying to solidify that now in the next couple of games. So to really put a guess as to who will win game two, it depends on what team the Hurricanes want to put out now.
Interesting. Maybe taking a leaf out of the RAF Shadows book, actually, with the use of their subs. But I didn't think it was bad at all from the Hurricanes. I thought, like I say, first half of that game was all them. Could have had a couple of goals, if not for good Kestrels defending. And they were just, their level just slightly dropped off, though, as the game went on. Kestrels found their feet, scored a couple of very nicely taken goals, notably that one from Rush. And just like that, they took the first game, and now we're into game number two. Deathrude, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream as Fezzi at the near post almost finds an equalizer. Asher has to commit. JDS now able to follow that clearance up. Asher looks in field towards goals.
Apologies, Stealth Fraz was being quite annoying there. Managed to reserve boost as well to really just maintain offensive pressure. It was a good little play by him there. Cuddles with a great clear, though. Send that downfield. Rush is waiting far back for it. Good positioning by him there. So JDS, low on boost, has to get the clear. In fact, well, the Hurricanes managed to get back in time with enough boost as well to go for another phase of defending here. Fezzi sending this one to the side wall, and Asher will be there for the pickup. Will continue carrying it downfield. Doesn't get the pass into the mid. Whether Fezzi is left over on the backboard, does well to get the clear. So, yeah, the first minute here definitely gone the way of the Kestrels at the moment. The Hurricanes just need to see some sort of way out of their half and a proper offensive moment here as Cuddles does get that 50. And Asher sends this one downfield.
It's almost the reverse of game number 1. It's a lovely pass towards Frazix by Rush. Now Frazix will take his time. Squares up Asher on the backboard. A nice double touch infield, but it's just overshot it. Fezzi with a misread. Cuddles clears downfield, scampers down the right hand side. He will chase this and hurry and hound the Kestrels defense, who will force JDS, who centers, tries to find Asher. Asher with a great decision though not to go. That would have left an open net had he gone for it, and it was very nicely done for him to just have the discipline to leave it. Cuddles will turn, has a chance at a shot. Bit of a miss-hit shot though, was unlucky. And Rush, out he comes, can't quite get the reset. Fezzi with a flick, squares Asher up for a 1 versus 1. And Asher with an excellent save, counters, will it find the net? It's Rush at the death. Saves the day for the Kestrels as this game number 2 hots up.
Still 0-0 here after 2 minutes gone. Fezzi whipping this one into the mid. Asher gets up quite quickly for that one. Indeed, gets a block as well. So these 50s are benefiting the Hurricanes at the minute. And JDS will send this one clear. Fezzi gets on the back end of it though. More pressure on Asher here on the backboard. Fantastic clear indeed by the Hurricanes defender there. Well, Asher will just continue applying the pressure. Fezzi, full tackle boost, will manage to catch this one, send it downfield. Tries to get a touch pass one, doesn't work out, misses it, so Asher sending it downfield. A bit more control by the Hurricanes is needed here on the offense, on the counter really. But Asher just charging through at the moment, opening up space, and JDS with a simple tap in, making 1-0 with 2 minutes 19 left to go.
Really nice pressure from Asher down that right hand side, single-handedly forcing a mistake from the duo of Fezzi and Frazix, I believe it was at the near post there. Couldn't quite clear their lines. Bit of unluckiness from them as well, the way it bounced central. But JDS was alive. He was active to the danger. And the RAF Hurricanes lead again in game number 2. A mirror image of what happened in game number 1. It's all about how they can consolidate this lead now. That's a good touch from Cuddles. Was limited on boost, but still managed to clear the ball away. Asher should and does complete the clearance. Frazix now. Awkward bounce, but deals with it. As far as JDS, Cuddles soft touch, and now he'll make a play. Gets past one, but a good bunt from Frazix frees up the shot for Rush. Asher able just to palm it away to the right hand side as we approach now the final minute and a half of action. Limited boost for JDS, the ball's downfield, where it needs to be for the Hurricanes, and the lead survives.
Yeah, it's a slower, much more composed play by the Hurricanes here in game number 2, and very much different how they played against the Shadows in the last series that they played. Obviously that one going the whole distance. We might see that again tonight, to be fair. But Fraz tries to maintain control, but Cuddles comes charging in. A good second man challenge there indeed, and Rush carries it, but challenged again by Cuddles. And I've got to say, if there was a man of the game here at the moment, it's going to go to Asher at the just the amount of pressure he's applying on these defenders.
Yeah.
The Kestrels looking a bit flustered at the moment, a bit of a panic there by Fezzi, and JDS not tucking that one away. That is a dangerous chance for the Hurricanes. Didn't really come through, and Rush with a little shot. Doesn't really come to much here. JDS manages to palm that away. Cuddles will tap it down, needs Asher to recover for him. Does well, double tap. Oh, excellently performed there, and Fraz left awkward. Mistake by Fraz. Cuddles is up and is 2-0 to the Hurricanes, and this game might as well be over here.
Hurricanes up by 2 inside the last 45 seconds. Cuddles playing the miss by Frazix, and it paid off after more fine work down that left-hand side from Asher, who, as you say, it's hard to disagree with you. He's having an absolutely superb series thus far. And JDS is in fine form as well, scoring a couple of nicely taken goals. And Cuddles, I'm telling you, this man might be up for most improved player of the year. Already I'm seeing really good signs from him in the way that he dedicates himself to the craft of improving in Rocket League, helping his team, and he's having a good series as well. But what can the Hurricanes do? We're into the final 20 seconds now. Cuddles will play this one slow. Good 50, no, well, even the 50 was a good clearance by Asher, and consolidated by Cuddles. And now we're into the final 10, Roman. Asher drops that one down. It will fall to JDS. The ball is exactly where it needs to be for the RAF Hurricanes. And as you say, the Romus, it may be a best of 7. I wouldn't mind for the neutral at best 7. That's a fantastic goal by Asher. Places it into the bottom left. An amazing read and an amazing finish to the last action of the game.
Cuddles managed to send that backboard Asher up quite nicely for that, really solidifying his dominance in game number 2 here. 3-0 to the Hurricanes there, making it 1 apiece here in the series. And Asher doing very solid indeed. And I see Sully in the chat said that he's loving this about halfway through this game, and I've got to agree with him there. Has been quite solid stuff, and it's definitely a different approach. I do like the fact that they've changed their play style to what they did against the Shadows. It means that they are trying different things, especially, of course, you don't have Sully on the pitch at the moment, but well, Frazix has left to change his car, no doubt.
Well, that's quite the detail, by the way, Roman, isn't it? I mean, the fact that Sully isn't even on the pitch and they're playing that well. I mean, that's their captain, and he's come out with a strategy tonight, Roman, and clearly it's to see the different trios that his team can possibly play with. So far, they show that there's depth in this squad, which is, I think, I mean, you should know from the Shadows. Is that not an amazing trait to have in a squad?
Absolutely, you know, to bring on that substitute as well, and he could be a strong substitute, and we have that in the likes of Logan. So to bring on a substitute, that can be scary, and in this case, your substitute is your captain, who knows what he's doing by the looks of it here. It's gonna be a bit dodgy for the Kestrels at the moment to really try and figure out what to do. Like a 3-0 defeat in game 2 after a good start in game 1. They figured them out. It was the exact same team, but the Hurricanes have turned it around. So will we see a repeat of the teams? We will indeed. The Hurricanes are sticking with this one. I feel like Sully is trying to find out what team he wants to play in the inter-services next week.
I think it's a good way to do it, isn't it? It's no way to do it than to trial it in these kinds of environments. And away they go again. It's game number 3 now. It's a good start again by Cuddles. That's a nice 50 by JDS, but Rush did more than enough there to divert the ball away. That was dangerous for the Army, but very well dealt with. And that's a nice shot by Fred's at the near post, but couldn't quite find the angle. And now JDS, limited boost, but will chase this. Gets a good demo. That's a Stanley principle right there. That's a really good shot. Can Asher follow it? He does, into Cuddles. And the Hurricanes start off like a hurricane yet again.
Solid team play there indeed. Asher again with a fantastic little pass there. Doesn't go for the shot. Knows there was a guy challenging. Really smart play there. Past the Cuddles. And all Cuddles has to do is just gently tap it, but decides to absolutely steamroll that into the net to make it 1-0 to the Hurricanes here. So again, as I said, the Kestrels, they're struggling to figure out how to play against this side. They're obviously expecting the best player to be on the pitch on paper here, but at the moment, they're struggling to play against 3 decent players here. They don't need to bring on Sully, and Sully knows that. There's a reason he hasn't opted onto the pitch. You can see the way the Hurricanes are playing at the moment, and I would be proud as a captain of the Hurricanes here at the moment. Like, they've managed to adapt to this series quite well, the demo coming through, and JDS immediately on it. So this pressure here from the Hurricanes is something to behold.
I'll tell you what, I am really, really, really liking this RAF Hurricanes side. I like what they're doing. They're clearly patient in their development as a team. They're developing. They're improving. They're playing together as a team. You can see their strategies in game are purely based around team plays. I saw Cuddles there going for a couple of passes. That's a wonderful save by Asher. Very unlucky for Frazix for that one not to find the back of the net, but for really good defending again. And Fezzi on his own backboard now has a lot of work to do here to see the ball away from danger. That's nicely challenged though by JDS. Limited boost, what will he do? According to the Stadium principle, you should go for a bump or boost, and he went for the former. But it does result in Frazix having an empty net. And he converts wonderfully from inside his own half. A great first touch, loops it over 2 players from the Hurricanes. Unfortunately, JDS couldn't quite do anything about that one. Smart play by Frazix, 1-1 again.
Asher being a bit too close to the play there, saw 2 people in front of him, had to fall back a little bit, but decided to push forward. It was a bit risky, like really risky, and look how that risk turned out. It is 1 apiece. A Rush with a cheeky shot will find the back of the net to make it 2-1 to the Kestrels here. So, it's not quite all, well, sunshine and rainbows here for the Hurricanes, you might say, but they do have their mistakes here and there, and they need to sort them out here. 3 minutes 13 left to go, and the Kestrels do have that goal advantage from the kickoff. Yes, it was from a kickoff. We know Cuddles has a notoriously slower kickoff than the rest. If you do take a look, it's something that we definitely noticed on the Shadows, and so does everyone else in the 6-mans. It's something that you can easily adapt to, and once you figure that out, which they have, it can lead to a very dangerous kickoff attack. So you've got to play around that now. You need Cuddles to ideally, well, speed up the kickoff more or slow it down even more. It sounds ridiculous, but anything to catch them off guard on the immediate front foot. But JDS with a good flick into the mid now, and Rush does have time to compose this ball, carry it downfield. The challenge from Kestrels will come through, bounces high, and we are halfway through this game still. It's kind of neutralized a little bit here.
The Kestrels really showing their character, able to come back on multiple occasions against this Hurricane side. That's very good, and they'll be very happy with how they've been able to fight their way back into these games and take the lead as well. Now they have a lead to defend, which hasn't happened often this game, but this series, sorry, but they've managed to stay in it at all times. There's another open net. Asher couldn't quite get it back in time, and Rush with his second goal of the game.
Good demo by Fezzi there. Reed just takes out the last man, allows Rush to get there, and it was just a completely free net. 3-1 to the good now for the Kestrels, and maybe it's time to shake up the team a little bit here. If you're Sully, like, yes, you'll go down 2-1. But again, I'd like to see Sully on the pitch today. It'd be a shame if he doesn't rock up today. I'm calling him out here. Get on the pitch. But yeah, so the Kestrels are slowly starting to figure out this Hurricane side. They figured them out in game 1. All of a sudden, the strategy changed in game 2, and now there needs to be something changed again here for the Hurricanes in game 3. They need to speed up their plays a little bit more. They're getting caught on the back line a lot more as well. Rush going in for cheeky challenges. Fezzi with a shot and the goal as well. 4-1 to the Kestrels. They need a shake up here now.
Very clinical from this Kestrel side. Fezzi, fantastic effort. Central, slightly to the right of JDS's vision there. And 4-1 to the Kestrels. I would say it's very well deserved in this game number 3. And it will give him a 2-1 lead unless there is a major comeback on the cards for the RAF Hurricanes. And now it's about what do you do with this last minute and a half of play? Can you maintain your composure? That's a bit of lag, I'd like to say, or just a misjudgment of play. Maybe he was expecting a shot in front of net there. I don't know. Certainly didn't look right to me. And I'm sure he can clarify what happened there post-game, as the Kestrels are now 5-1 to the good.
That was definitely a bit of lag, I think, because he just drove away from the ball and started boosting. I know that feeling, I know that pain. It happens to the best of us lads here in the military. So Fraz will go for a shot. It's dropped down by Rush. Really solid touch there, just to really centralize that ball. And, well, 1-6, the Hurricanes, they want to write off this game immediately and go next.
Yeah, the rumors and still. Logan, how are you, brother? How are you? Nice to have you back in the chat with us. Are you doing all right? Have you had a good day? Have you eaten well? Are you adequately hydrated? Hope you are. Hope you are enjoying the action tonight. It's at the moment, dominant Kestrels performance in game number 3. About to give them a 2-1 lead in this best of 7. And I wonder now, is it time for a shake-up? If you are Sully, certainly would be the perfect time, I think, as well. But you never know. He might just stick, and he might have faith in this team, who have shown already that they can play brilliantly when they are on their game. The Kestrels, at the moment, are looking very, very good. That's a stunning save from Asher. Fezzi goes high. It's off the crossbar and nicely cleared away. I believe that was the car of JDS. That's a nice pass. Looking towards Asher, who was trying to bump Rush. Didn't quite work out. It will be an empty net again. It's just wide of the mark this time. There's 2 armored players going for it. There's 2 in players making contact with it, but it didn't make its way in. And now up comes JDS. Looking inside to Cuddles, forcing a way through. But a nice save again by Rush. And Roman, as you take us through to the final 10, it's the Kestrels who will take a 2-1 lead.
Absolutely, but a consolation goal wouldn't go amiss here for the Hurricanes. It would be nice to get something on the board after, I'd say, about 4 minutes of no response. But Rush does challenge immediately here. 3 seconds left. Fezzi with a cheeky little pinch here, the 50th through, and the ball will hit the ground. So Kestrels 2, the Hurricanes 1, but fret not. Sully still has to arrive on the pitch. Sully still has time to decide whether or not he wants to get on the pitch. And I think if there was any a better time, it would be now. It has to be said. 6-1 defeat. You're going to have to shake something up here.
It can happen, though. It can happen where you go 2-3-1 down. Usually for me, when it's 2 goals down, you could just sort of begin to let the game go and start focusing on the next one. That is also what could have happened in that one. But also, can't discount that was a beautiful series of goals by the Kestrels, and most notably Rush, who bagged himself 4 goals that game. And I mean, they could have had more. They could have had more, to be honest. And let's see if there are any changes. Nope, they are going to stick. I love that. In a way, I love that. They don't want to let that loss get them down, I guess. Oh wait, are they sticking? I've just seen Cuddles.
Sully is on the pitch.
Ah, so no, yeah, it's Sully for JDS. Sorry, it took me a moment to compute. There we go. All right, we are underway.
Substitute off for their strongest player. It's now time to open the floodgates here for a Hurricane supporter, which 99% you in the chat will be tonight. I know full well I'm on the backing of them as well. Again, trying to stay neutral, but again, you got to support your boys in blue, and they send it downfield. There you go. 1-0 to the Hurricanes. Sully with an immediate impact in a cheeky little flick over Fezzi. Good night. Goal number 1.
He's like a caged animal, just bursts on the scene in this game. Instant impact. And it's a nice nerve settler if you are Sully for the Hurricanes now as Cuddles follows up on that kickoff, and there goes Sully again. That was an empty net, but he had to cut across it nice and thin. He didn't quite make his way in. Asher flashes across the face of goal, causes some havoc. Cuddles will turn on this. Centers wonderfully. Can he follow that one up? Oh, it's an awful touch from Fezzi. It's 2 to the good now for the Hurricanes. And what on earth happened there? A rather unfortunate touch. Finds its way in off the crossbar, and the Hurricanes double their lead.
What? Cuddles unlock mind control, says Sully. Gotta. Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. Oh my goodness, Fezzi, you do not want to be looking back at that one. Oh my.
It can happen to the best of us.
It can indeed. that is unfortunate. But Asher go for a ceiling shot here. Doesn't tap that quickly, but Sully will finish. And this game, this series is being turned on its head with the surprise appearance of the captain here. Asher, fantastic setup. Sully's second man slots that in. 3-0.
The Hurricanes in a frenzy of momentum here. It's a quick start. 3 goals inside a minute. And they're going for a 4th. But for the touch of Frazek, that was very, very important. Denies the attack again. Cuddles away he comes. Fezzi with a nice clearance. Asher looks towards the net again, but can only find Rush. Sully plays it in field. Asher's there again, looks towards Sully. That's wonderful play. They catch the Kestrels off guard again, and it's goal number 4 inside a minute 20. And the Hurricanes in fine form.
Absolutely. Asher with a great pass inside. Sully is there. And all of a sudden, this, like I said, they needed a shake-up, and the pace has ramped up from the Hurricanes. And what are the Kestrels doing? Sleeping. They're all over the pitch. They're not knowing how to counter this because it's such a quick change. And Sully's up. Sully scores 5-0 to the Kestrels. To the Hurricanes even. 3:37 left. And it's absolute dominance in the first 90 seconds here.
Crucial thing about Fezzi's misplay there, I guess, was that he went for the boost. He went for the right play. He had none. He had to get that boost, but I think he just got caught in between the boost and the net. In the end, turned it around with no boost, and if he had even a couple of pads, he would have had a chance of saving that one. But again, Sully had such a quick read on it, and he makes it goal number 5. Can they find an equalizer now? No, instead it's Asher trying to launch counter-attack. Cedric, by the way, with a 4-month sub. Thank you so much. As always, we appreciate you, and appreciate any subs that we do get. All goes straight back into our wonderful Rocket League community here in the Royal Air Force. So like I say, sorry, 8-month sub. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're on a 4-month streak, but that's your 8-month sub. Thank you very much, Cedric. We do appreciate it, and you know exactly where that money goes. Well, the Hurricanes certainly paying you back with interest at the moment. That's a nice play though from the Kestrels, and that's so unlucky. That deserved the goal.
Ash just got a free ball, and it is 6-0. It was a full send by the Army side, and Asher, calm and composed upfield, had that map control that we spoke about yesterday, and it is 6-0. Well, I was about to make a comment on my 16-month streak. However, that's irrelevant at the moment, with 6 on the scoreboard for the Hurricanes.
That's nice from Fezzi. They're looking to respond. Can they respond? No, another last-ditch save. That was Asher that time defending this clean sheet. And what will a clean sheet do for the confidence here of the Hurricanes? It will do them the world of good as Cuddles looks to add potentially a 7th. That's a misflip though from Asher. Not to worry, as Sully was there. A nice shot goal again. It's heading towards the bottom corner, and it's number 7. It's 7 heaven for the RAF Hurricanes.
Wow, they've gone one better. It was 6th run to the Army in the last game, and the Hurricanes have gone, hold my beer, 7-0, 2 minutes 16 left to go, and this is pretty much guaranteed to be all tied up here, heading into a best of 3 after this one. Again, another misplay there on the sidewall. That was phased to go for it, but Cuddles composed on the back line there, sending that one to the corner, rushes up, gets a pass infield. Asher really just getting rid of any sort of doubt for the Hurricanes on defense, and we'll just continue bullying the Army's back line. Sully is up. Asher can go up for this, will go up for this, doesn't quite get the read. The Cuddles push forward, bit of a miscommunication there by the Hurricanes. A shot comes through, Sully with a clear, but Fezzi has a chance here. Tips it onto the sidewall, doesn't get the read. A 50 comes through, but again, stonewall defense from the Hurricanes so far, and Asher with a fantastic pitch to get clear as well.
Yeah, to be honest, Asher's had a fantastic series. He's been almost faultless for this Hurricane side. JDS has also played well when he was on, as well, scoring some vital goals for that first win in the series. And of course, Sully with an instant impact, and Cuddles is just improving as every game goes by. He's getting better and better and better, making better decisions, playing that little bit faster. And it's just an overall solid play for this Hurricane side. That, though, is a good chance for at least one goal to make the Brazil for the Army. But again, the defense of the Hurricanes stands firm. Asher punts that one to the corner. And into the final minute now, it's still 7-0.
The Army just can't hit the target at the minute. Fezzi send this one downfield. We'll try and continue going for it. Does get a good touch into the centre. This one surely should be a goal, but it's sent wide by Rush, and their accuracy is falling. 7-0. Okay, yeah, it's not great, but you need something here for if you're the Army side, and this could be the opportunity. The net's open, but Asher as well to get the clear. 33 seconds left. And I don't think there's going to be one coming. I think it's genuinely going to be a clean sheet, because at the moment, this Army side is crumbling. There is nothing much more to be said. Asher is there for the shot. Doesn't quite make connection. And yeah, the Army needs something here in this next game, because at the moment, Sully's rocked up, and it's been pure dominance. 850 points for the lad at the moment. 600 points for Asher as well.
Oh my god.
It's just been perfect synergy for the two of them.
They're in fine form. They're singing from the same hymn sheet. Clearly are this RAF Hurricanes team. Whether it's JDS, whether it's Cuddles, whether it's Asher or Sully, there's depth. There's real depth in this team now. And the series becomes a best of 3, 2-2. A quite brilliant performance in response to an excellent Army performance in game number 2. And it's all of a sudden a best of 3. Where do we go from here? Do you make more changes? I don't know, but whatever Sully said to those group of players clearly has worked wonderfully. As well, we're back to all square again, Roman.
Absolutely, I wouldn't make a change here if I was the Hurricanes. They've done everything right in this game to bring them back level into the series, and they might as well take it 4-2. The way they performed this game, we know every Rocket League game is different, just based on, well, what happens in the initial 30 seconds really has to be said. But Frazix, again, going for another car change here. I don't think a car change was really much to benefit you in this game, to be honest. There's the link up between... I mean, yeah, you could say that as much as you want. The hitbox is the same. I mean, I'll always choose Octane over Fennec because I've had more experience with the car. But we take a look at the sides now, and well, it's going to be a shake-up. Cuddles is off, JDS is on, and it's going to be another one here to throw an extra spanner in the works for the Army side. They're going to have to figure out how this side plays out now.
It's quite a problem to present to your opposition, isn't it, when you have a squad of 4 fantastic players. And, well, you can do any mixture of them, and you know your opponents are going to have to do some real work. And the Army, you're right, they've had to work out 3 different rosters already tonight. And it's great. I mean, it actually works out for the Army as well, because what a pitch, by the way, and an excellent save by Frazix. He had to react so well. That's a nice flick though by Rush, and it finds its way into the bottom right. And what a sequence of play that was, from defense to attack for the Army Kestrels. They're 1-0 up.
Well, what I say, the first 30 seconds is what really determines the mindset of the game, and it's 1-0 to the Army now. They've completely forgotten about the last to be honest. That was a great little touch there by Rush. That pinch was insane, it has to be said, but Fraz's save even better to even allow the opportunity of a shot. It was a great response there from the Army on the counter. But now it's time for the Hurricanes to, well, come back from a losing position, and they will do that immediately with Sully reading the backboard nicely after, again, Asher's pass. These two are crazy when it comes to team play on the ball.
They have quite the chemistry. Does Asher, Sully. They really are on the same page, and they're bringing their team with them. If they can get, if they can get JDS and Cuddles to play with Asher and Sully the same way that those two can as a duo, my God, is this team going to be a real threat. And well, I remember when Sully first joined the scene, and when we first made this Hurricanes team an actual RAF representative roster, one of the first things he said to me was, Stelios, I'm telling you now, we're going to come for that Tempest second spot. And I'm not saying they're near that point yet. They might very well be, for all we know. But, I mean, that goal is looking very likely, at least more likely the more time goes by. I am just a neutral. I don't have any horse in the race. I just like all my RAS teams performing to the best of their ability. That's exactly what they're doing at this moment in time, putting on a show. Are both of these two teams, the Army Esports Kestrels and the Hurricanes. They continue the battle now as we approach the halfway point of game number 5. It's 1-1.
Say, can they challenge the Tempest? I say let's walk before we can run at the minute. You want to be this Kestrel side tonight. You don't want to be thinking about that just yet. I know full well how strong the Tempest side is, and it's not an easy task at all to take them down. And well, even on top of that, the Storm Shadows as well. But the gap between, I'd say, the Hurricanes and Shadows, between the Tempests and the Storm Shadows, there is a significantly noticeable gap. But again, it all depends on the day, you know, like who plays well on the day. And at the moment, you're seeing a neutral game 5 here. Rush with a nice little, well, had an attempt at a hook shot. He backed out of it there, didn't really fully commit to it. Sully on the ceiling, leaves it for Asher. Asher will send this in. Fraz with a clear. So the Hurricanes, they definitely want to take this series. It will give them good momentum going into next week, guaranteed. It's just whether or not they can keep that momentum and keep this pressure up as this side progresses throughout the year.
Asher will let that one hit the backboard. Smart play again. That's a good demo by Frazix on the car of Sully. But I believe that was Asher keeping the play alive. JDS will challenge. Force it high. That's good. A smart play. Again, that's another thing that Stanley touched on, was forcing high. The ability just to force your opponent over your car rather than under, which will give your teammate behind you pretty much a free ball almost every time. That's exactly what JDS did there. Smart play from him, and Asher was able to take over the play. Frazix onto the backboard though. Sully was there lurking and waiting. That's a nice touch by Fezzi. Asher goes up for a squishy, and it means Sully that had to cover then. It was good. Up goes JDS. There's a miss. Fezzi has to come and shoot here. He does. Asher with some good defending. Rush though takes over again. Good clearance by JDS, but a nice touch by Rush. Frees up Frazix temporarily for a shot. Didn't quite work out. Asher looks and fills out JDS, but has limited boost. Still challenges and challenges well. Sully not giving them a moment to rest as we approach the final minute and 20 seconds now. Asher with a nice center. Can he force a mistake? No, he can't, and Frazix able to clear the ball away. JDS, one more thorough device in this offensive play. Doesn't quite work out. And Roman, we're into the final minute almost. It's still all square here. And I don't know. It really is a chess match at this point.
Yeah, I just want to say on the defense there for the Hurricanes, they managed to get the ball clear, but I've noticed something that Stanley noticed as well. Like the boost levels on the counter were non-existent. They were all on 0. They had to get back. Asher was in the enemy half while their team was defending, just trying to scrounge any boost that was available on the pitch. Asher now has a free ball, pops it high. JDS goes for the challenge. It's a good one at that. JDS has a chance to go again here. Will do so. Goes for a shot on net. Not the right decision, but you know, I like the confidence as Sully taps someone into the mid, tries to go for a demo on Fraz. Will take the boost instead, trying to gain any sort of position upfield. Asher will miss that one. Good comms there, allows JDS to push up forward quite quickly for that one. Sully needs to get to there, does so indeed, and Fraz Does get to it. Asher was lurking though, and that's a good tip by Fez. This could be dangerous. Asher does well. 10 seconds left. We could very well stare at overtime here. But Rush pops it high. This is dangerous. The boost levels are low, but Fraz makes a mistake. Doesn't get connection on the ball. And Sully now tips into the mid. Asher with a shot. Off the backboard it'll go. Fezzy gets the double, but Sully's there. The post. We go to overtime by the skin of our teeth, and Sully will be kicking himself.
That could have been a moment of magic for the Hurricanes, but instead, into overtime we go. Painful, says Death. Indeed it was. JDS rises high, flicks it backwards. Not a bad touch. It's not the best though. There's a chance here for Frazix. The Kestrels bag a winner in overtime, 17 seconds in. It's 3-2, and now they have 2 match points to play with. Interesting stuff here as we approach the latter stage of this series. The Hurricanes arguably should have had that game in the bag. They didn't, and the Kestrels making them pay with some clinical finishing. 17 seconds in overtime. And here we go, Roman. Here's where it gets juicy.
Yeah, unfortunately for JDS there. I mean, he could have waited for that to go to the corner, but again, just thought the better idea was to get the touch, and unfortunately he allowed more pressure for the Hurricanes there in that overtime, which allowed the Kestrels' second goal. So it is 2-1 here. Same score as game number 1. And, well, we know how game number 2 went. So they are trading games at the minute. And if this keeps going in this pattern, there will be a Kestrels win by default. You know, if you believe in stats like that, which we all know is utterly useless at the end of the day. But are we going to see another team change? We are. So Cuddles is back on the pitch. It is a substitute and third man swap here. And, well, we saw how well they did in the game 4. It was a 7-0 win, and we're hoping to see another dominant side again. Asher does well to get that one clear, though, from the kickoff. And it's this kickoff pressure they need to sort themselves out on here, I believe, Steph.
Nice shot at the near post, and yeah, I think they're able to alleviate that pressure and just have slightly better kickoffs, which will come with time, by the way. I mean, every team has weaknesses in kickoffs. That does include the RAF Storm Shadows. I mean, if anything, it's especially the RAF Storm Shadows, which was it was pretty much the sole reason that they lost against the Army Esports Falcons. Again, that incredible side, top seed, going to the next qualifier, had an extremely strong kickoff that, quite frankly, the RAF Storm Shadows were not able to figure out. So, if they're having kickoff issues at that level, well, it's going to be, of course, a bit more common at this level, but it's something that can be worked on. Now that we have the access to coaching resources, you bet these teams will be working on those exact things. As already, a minute flies by here in game number 6. As Asher tries to go underneath Rush there, but Rush defending well. That's a nice pinch, it will go in, and that's Fezzy with a nice opening goal for Kestrels, and the ball firmly in their court now, with just under 4 to go.
Yeah, solid pinch by Fezzy there, bounces out at the perfect angle, just to send it to the centre of the net. Really solid stuff there, 1-0 to the Kestrels. Against the play, not really. I mean, it was like 50-50 up until that point, so it only took one little breakthrough to get that one on the scoreboard. So Cuddles gets a positive kickoff, gets a pass into the mid, but gets bumped in the process, so sends it long. Asher's left awkward. Rush has a free hit here. We'll keep it going, but Asher recovers well, gets the save. And you mentioned into services. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, and unfortunately, we have got word that there may not be coverage of that one.
Indeed. Oh, that's a nice play from Sully. Brilliantly dummied by Cuddles off that left-hand side. And you can see Cuddles, that initial play, looking for Asher. Asher went for demos, allowed Cuddles the space to come off that left-hand side wall, play a pass in, and then dummy it for Sully to come in and equalise, and we're all square again. A good response by the RAF Hurricanes, and they'll be delighted with that one. As, well, all square again.
1-1 after the 90. Sully does well to get that one clear. Rush will have a touch on this one. Sends it to the backboard. This is dangerous if it drops down. It does drop down, but no commit from the Army. They played it quite passive, allowing the Hurricanes to really reset the position in defence. That's a mistake by Fezzy as well. Cuddles will go up for this. Sends it to Rush. Rush sends it back downfield, but Sully should control this. I say that. Absolutely sends it downfield, and a double commit comes through. If a clinical touch came from Asher there, it would have been an absolute counter-attack of dreams. It would have been a 2v1 situation. But here we are. Rush sending this one high to Fezzy, and Fezzy will not get there. Great intercept by Asher. Cuddles with a bump as well. Fraz low on boost, sends this downfield. Sully has to get there and does well. So yeah, very neutral at the minute. A lot of tactical play, a lot of boom ball as well that we're seeing. Again, the playstyle is shaking up from both sides. This one will fall into the mid. It's a dangerous strike. Cuddles is awkward. It's a free shot for Fezzi, and it will be 2-1 to the Kestrels.
Kestrels once again drawing, I say first blood, second blood in the stalemate. Good finish by Fezzi, calm and composed in front of goal. The clock looking a little bit more dangerous now for the RAF Hurricanes. They've got to come back again. They've got to do it from behind. They know they can. They've proven it in abundance with those 7 goals in the previous, well, 2 games ago now. But the Kestrels, again, showing their danger at all points in the game. Not phased at all by that 7-0 defeat. That's a nice shot at the near post. It's off the crossbar, down and in from Rush. And it becomes a 2-goal deficit now for the Kestrels. Firmly in control. 2 match points to play with as well. And is this an unassailable position to be in for the Kestrels? Only time will tell.
Still plenty of time here for the Hurricanes. They need to compose themselves. They are throwing bodies forward. However, it's causing them damage at the back. They need to slow things down. And Cuddles will get a touch here. Great pass in field. Asher doesn't have Bruce to work with. Does now to get another pass in field. Sully's there! And Fraz with the save. That was a solid little effort from the Hurricanes there, and Sully will go again. This is immense. They do it again. 2-3, and I said they need to slow it down, and they've done so by finding space in the pitch with 2 back-to-back perfect passes.
They really are finding each other. It's Cuddles, Asher and Sully making some really nice passing plays. They've got to go back. Winnable, says Deathfruit. Time will tell. It's a minute 50 on the clock now. They've got to do it one more time to take us to what would be a spectacular Game 7. And I really mean this. It's been a cracking series. The perfect series, actually, to follow from the RAF Hurricanes token match against the Shadows not so long ago. That was an absolute abomination of a series with how entertaining it was. That's lovely from Asher across the face of the goal. Doesn't quite work. JDN, who's actually an Army player himself, demands a Game 7, as do we all. But is there one more twist in the tail to take us to that promised land? Roman, take us through the next few seconds.
We are then a minute 15 left to go, and Asher gets a clear on the back wall, but leaves it all for Fraz. Not getting demoed. It will sneak its way through, so that means the Army are back to a 2-goal advantage with double match point here, and unfortunately, Asher doesn't get the ball or the bump. Either would have been great there to allow the Hurricanes to push forward, but that will be unfortunate, and it is now, well, the time has been halved, and the goal, and the goals have been doubled. I'm trying to figure out words here, and it's all Army here with a minute 4 left to go.
They have responded amazingly, by the way. Credit where it's due. That is a wonderful goal from Fezzi. Limited boost had to feather that so well, and it looks like Game 7 will not be achieved today. The Kestrels continue in their preparation for the inter-services in very good fashion. That is, again, as far as the second team for the Army goes, they've done very well tonight. And the RAF Hurricanes, the RAF's third best team, with an excellent performance, in my opinion. A lot of positives to take out. And if they're doing that to the Army second, there is no reason why this team cannot aspire to be the second best in the RAF one day. Tempest one day await them, but they first have to fend off the challenge from the very offensive-minded Shadows to come at some point next week. Will there be a goal number 6 for the Kestrels? It is. And this series has been, I guess, just ebbing and flowing with the amount of goals that have been scored by a team in a given series. It's 7 from the Hurricanes in one game. It's 6 from the Kestrels in the other game. It might be 6 again for the Kestrels, who will be seeing out their night's work, and they'll be very happy with the job they've done.
It's definitely been an interesting one. There's been a lot of mistakes. That's a great thing by Fraz. There's been a lot of mistakes from both sides here that they can go back and analyse, that being one of them right there. But yeah, what a series we've had. Back-to-back series on stream as well. There's been 2 quality ones, and as you said, yes,
absolutely,
we have challenged the Hurricanes again. We're hoping for it not to be as close, and we're hoping to at least have a 1 game, at least just win the series this time around. But that's for the future. Right now, we're seeing a very... I wouldn't be disappointed if you're at the Hurricanes. I wouldn't be disappointed at all. It has been something quite positive to take from. But the Kestrels do win the series 4-2 in this show match. Really solidly played by them. They managed to figure out the Hurricanes' constant change in dynamic. And well, just basically They never really look back. The Hurricanes, they've done well. There was a very one-sided game, but apart from that, it's a really difficult one to analyze unless you look back at it. So I do recommend take a look back at this one if you are the Hurricanes. Yeah.
That's definitely one that they'll be looking to analyse. That there's so much gold dust for both teams there, actually. I think that was their first engagement, really, because the Hurricanes, of course, weren't in the inter-service land at the end of the year, and it was a shell of I think it was a shell of a Hurricane side that played the first qualifier. So it's the first time they've had a proper engagement, these two sides, in their best forms, and well, you can see what series it produced. A phenomenally entertaining series. Both sides scoring really nice goals. And again, positive to take again for the Hurricanes especially. But the Kestrels, we're delighted with their work. Great win for them, of course. Well, I guess before we move on to the giveaway for this evening, can we declare a man of the match? Because I think from an RAF perspective, Asher, again, had a great series. Sully, impact. He's had a fantastic impact when he came on. Cuddles, solid all round for the majority of the series, doing what he does best, just hitting balls consistently. And then, of course, JDS, clinical in those first couple of games. And I think he actually suffered a couple of lag spikes, which is why he ended up taking himself off. I think I saw him spiking to 999 a few times. On the side of the Kestrels, Fezzi scored a couple of cracking goals. Fazix being a nuisance for the whole series, doing what he does best, basically. Solid player. And then Rush, the anchor, the real anchor of that team. Roman, who would you give it to?
So obviously RAF side, it would go to Asher if the RAF were to win. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Asher, you're my RAF man of the match tonight. The Kestrels, yeah, I was mainly focusing on the Hurricanes, but as you said, Fezzi, it was between Fezzi and Rush. If I were to choose something like based on, like, it depends on the position you're playing. Rush was really solid throughout. Fezzi really clinical up front. It's really difficult to go for, but at the end of the day, I am gonna have to settle for Fezzi. That's going to be my man of the match for tonight. Really solid throughout on the offense. Really caused a lot of difficulties for the Hurricanes here tonight. So yeah, congratulations, Fezzi. You've got my man of the match tonight.
Did you guys even watch Recess Frazix? I don't know. I'm not sure what I was watching, to be honest, Frazix. I don't know. So
I did, and if I remember correctly, there was a few ball misses that you could have had there. So I did keep that quiet. I did keep that quiet, Frazzy. You can chat to me later on. We can have a laugh about it, but you know it will go to Fezzi tonight.
Yeah, very well deserved. I can't say I disagree with you. I would definitely go on to the side of Fezzi, a great player. I think it's actually in the Merlins roster as well, which is the third team for the Army. Maybe he's stepping up, maybe the roster's changed, we don't know. But a nice insight into what they might be looking like for the Inter-Services Spring Qualifier. So well done Fezzi, well done the Kestrels, and an excellent performance again from the Hurricanes. A lot of positives, and I'm sure they'll be happy with their performance as well. So, I think it's time then. We've teased it long enough. There is one more element of the stream before we wrap up things for this evening. Now, you may know, or may not know. If you didn't know, I don't know why. I have certainly tried to spread this across all three servers as best as I can. BFBS, and specifically Rob, the head of esports for BFBS, have been very, very kind to the armed force community, and have allowed myself and Ed to go along to RLCS weekend this coming Saturday and Sunday to shoot some content for them and meet the team. However, they've also allowed an extra person to enter a giveaway and have a chance of winning VIP tickets to the Birmingham Major this coming weekend. So I enjoyed giving that one out to all of you. There were in total 20 entries into the giveaway, and well, there can unfortunately only be one winner. That was selected at complete random. And by the way, just before, if anybody thinks that me or Ed or any of the RAF guys had any involvement in selecting the winner, we absolutely did not. In fact, Roman, I don't even think you know who won. Just
no, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Yeah, currently the people who do know who won is myself, Rob, and of course Cedric or Ed, as you may well know him. So it was drawn at some point this morning. I was in work when it happened, by Rob of BFBS Esports at complete random. And well, the winner of the VIP tickets for RLCS, which include accommodation and travel, is... it's Elliot Greenwood.
Play the drum roll.
It's
wow.
G-Wood of the RAF Tempest. Congratulations, you have won the tickets. So if you are watching this, please get in touch with myself or Ed, and we'll put you in touch with Rob. We'll get you in the group chat, and we'll get you all booked up to go to Birmingham this Saturday and Sunday. It should be really, really good. And by the way, anyone in the chat, if you are going to be there, let me know, because I'm going to be there. Ed's going to be there. G was going to be there. Roman is also going to be there. And if you also know a kid called Pluvo, he will also be there as well after competing in the British Esports Cup, British Esports Final. Actually, wait, it's today. I'm pretty sure it's today. I'm pretty sure he's there right now.
It is today, yeah.
That I might have to quickly just end the stream and go and watch that, because surely it should be happening now. Anyway,
it should be happening. Yeah, I think it happened during this show match. To be honest, the timing of this one wasn't ideal if you wanted to transfer. But
know.
yes, I bought my ticket for Birmingham. I also bought the hotel. All of this has come out of my own pocket. But yes, that wraps up this stream. We've had a fantastic series between the Army and the RAF of the Kestrels and the Hurricanes. And well, I've been Derobus. This is Stelios, and for whatever reason, I'm wrapping it up this time. We shall catch you guys in the next stream, which will be next week, I'm pretty sure, for what will be, if decided, the token match between the Shadows and the Hurricanes.
Good night, everybody.